All right, welcome to a jump start. Please ignore my little dog snoozing in the background of my office. All right, so we are talking today about profits from pallets of merchandise and return goods. Um, some of the most popular places to purchase from are Amazon, Walmart, Target, Costco, Home Depot, Lowe's. Those are big ones. And we're going to talk a little bit today about how somebody gets started doing something like that. I myself got started with just one pallet, and someone had told me they were buying return pallets. And I was like, how are you doing that? Where are you getting them from? And I realized at that point there was a whole industry of things that never get picked up at site to store or from online shipping, or just items that need to leave the online database or the actual shelves of your Walmart or the warehouses of Amazon, because they either are not selling, or in Walmart's case, they don't need kayaks or generators when it's Christmas time because they need room for the Christmas trees and the inflatable elves and all of that stuff. So there's reasons that stuff goes back up the supply chain. There's returns, there's overstock, bounce houses that maybe got purchased, used for one party and then returned, but are otherwise fine. All kinds of things of that nature. So we've built a business out of it. So this 1 hour overview is to give you an idea of the basics of how one would get started. The first question being, of course, how do you buy these products, right? So I've taken the liberty. In a lot of the other video content that I show, I do Costco and I've done some Amazon as well. Today, we're going to be looking at Walmart. Now, I am not in Indiana, so my freight on this is going to be off kilter because I'm way on the West Coast. But I picked this one for us to look at because
Amy, here's your reminder. Send a Zoom link to your digital assistant.
Because
Amy,
sorry about my digital
here's your
assistant.
reminder. Send a Zoom link to your digital assistant.
Sorry about that. I'm not very technologically advanced, meaning I forget how to pause things and stuff. So I'll have to come back and look at that. But anyway, let me get back to where we were. I did some research for you. Okay, so this is 5 pallets of sporting goods, home decor, and more. That's 47 units out of Indianapolis. I like this one for you because 47 units at 4,700 means that they average about $100 an item. So not so big that buyers don't have the money, and not so small that it's not really worth your time. I tend to stay away from things like shoes, apparel. Everybody's got their own niche. Baby clothes, diapers are great, but again, they don't sell for that much money unless you're getting really big containers of them. All of that's doable. But so I went ahead and I downloaded the spreadsheet here. Now, this item it's a retail value of $4,786. As you can see right now, the bid's at $247. I personally would be looking to pay about $900 to $1,000 for this, including freight. If the pallets, if you were close enough that each pallet cost $100 to ship, then you'd be able to spend $500 on the shipping and $500 on this auction. And the mileage will change depending on where you are, but there's hubs everywhere. So we can certainly find one that's close to you. There's a lot, and I can create you a list, bring you lists of everywhere that you can buy things by the pallet, by the truckload, by the box. So this one's $47.86. I went ahead and I pulled its spreadsheet. Here it is. As you can see down at the bottom here, there's $47.86. Now these are Walmart items. It gives you the retail that they show on the manifest. Sometimes it's a bit higher, sometimes it's a bit lower, just depends on national average at the time. And of course, just because Walmart prices it at one thing doesn't mean that that's where it's priced at through other online retailers, Dick's Sporting Goods, Amazon, Target. Everybody's got a little bit of a different process. So you can also look at national average retails, but you don't need to delve into it. They send a UPC number. They send model numbers. So I looked at a few, like here's a sewing and craft finished work desk. This says 358. Let's look it up together. I can search by the UPC, by the model number. In this case, I'm going to try to search by keyword because I researched the pallets to make sure it's merchandise that I want, of course, and things that others will want since you'll be selling them to others. So let's see what they say about this guy. Okay, so it says here that it's typically $485 to $609. So right off the bat, cute, huh? It's like a kitchen island, but for sewing and crafts. Very cute, very cute. Okay, so right now, if I add that to my cart in Walmart right now, it's selling for $443. So what that means is, I think we're getting a better deal than that on the manifest. Let me run back here. Okay, so $358 is what they're charging us a portion of. And currently, right now on Walmart, it's $443. So if I was going to use this to make an ad, I'm going to show you in a few minutes how I would do that. And then I'm going to run back here to the spreadsheet. So as you can see, this one was what? More like $450 retail. Then I went ahead and highlighted this one for you. This is a Blackstone, and everybody loves Blackstone burners. Real quick way to test it. When I show you this thing, do you want it? Of course you do. Everybody does at half price. So we are looking for the Blackstone griddle. I can look it up by UPC. I can look it up by model number. I can look it up by keyword search. Any one of those things. I believe in this case, I actually looked it up by UPC. And I've got tips and tricks to show you the best ways that I have found to find those. Let's see if I did. I entered the UPC right here. Okay. And one cool thing I like about this particular UPC finder is if I enter the same one in twice, it thinks I'm looking for two, and it will tell me the national averages right there. Pretty slick, right? Between 250 and 733. Who in the heck is charging 733? I don't know, but let's find out who is charging what. Think. All right, we're going to scroll on down. Let's see if I can make that larger for you. Okay, so eBay's bananas. Walmart is saying $297. Let me click on that and see what the actual price is today. Okay, they're saying, hey, this thing is now $242. And as you can see, it's lovely. Let me run on back to the spreadsheet. Okay, we paid $197 for it, but we just found out that it's a $250 retail. So as you can see, there's opportunity here. And usually if one thing is priced incorrectly, it tends to come out in the wash. And again, some things are new, some things are used. It tends to come out in the wash. So we're going to look at this one as well. This Sentry Safe water resistant. I will see also if I can find it by UPC search. I do send off a lot of the data and have my virtual assistant send me back completed files, and we can get into all that. I can show you how to do all that to make it real easy. I hire some of my staff to list the things, deal with the customers. So there's ways to outsource it to scale your business. Okay, so once again, I found it by UPC, but I could have very easily also found it by the model number, SFW123CS. Bam, right there. I mean, all the information. God bless the internet, because it's all right there. So I'm going to run back and show you. All right, this is who doesn't want a waterproof and fireproof safe? Everyone wants a waterproof and fireproof safe. So let's see. We are looking, and if I do it twice, I can kind of see what the national averages run. Okay, between $100 and $400 for this item. Obviously, we want people to have a good value with us, so we're going to look at what Walmart says $226, Office Depot says $400, Lowe's says $150. Let's click on that and see if that's true. Okay, it's no longer sold at Lowe's. So yeah, that's not true. It doesn't make any difference if they actually can't sell them for that. So going back, let's see who else has it. Did I check on? No, let's check Home Depot. Home Depot currently has it for $187. Running back to my spreadsheet, we are paying a margin on $183. And I'm also going to look again real quick and see what it is right now at walmart.com. Okay, so $211.06. And again, here's some great pictures that we can use for our ad. Gorgeous. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's been done for us. The images are there. Now, this might come in. They're very heavy items. Now, it may very well come in with a ding in the corner. Does that in any way stop its ability to house your goods or bolt to the floor? No. Maybe people buy it all day long at $211, but they're absolutely going to buy it all day long at $150 because that's a big savings to them. So let's say that the national average on it right now is about $211. We'll call it $210. So let me get back here. So $210. I'm going to add another. I'm going to add another little line there. So if I was going to say that this Better Homes and Gardens craft table, and by the way, in my experience, people will go crazy for that craft table. People love stuff like that. Let's see, $450. So if you were selling it for $225, that's a great deal, right? Somebody's getting off, even if you sold it for $250, somebody's getting $200 off on that one item. Now, on this guy, your Blackstone griddle, and people love them at $250. If you were going to sell it for, say, let's see, what's a good price? How about $125? That's a good value for them, and that's half price. You probably could even go 140 on that guy, and people will probably line up to get it because it's a good deal. They're saving between 60 and $100 just on that one item. So it's good for you. It's good for them. And then Century, and we don't have to build it. They've already built it. We don't have to take the images. They've taken the images. We don't need to look at the model number. It's already all there. We're not reinventing the wheel. We are just creating a place where somebody can buy it for less than they could currently spend for it in the big box stores. All right. So this one sells for $210. Now, this is a fire resistant safe. Now, you're going to end up paying about $40 for it. So if you offered it for $125, I think that we both know it would sell. So let's just say if this guy here, you probably had spent, and I'll show you how in a second. If you had spent $70 on this one, that's basically at 20% of this. So 35 and 35 is 70. And if you had spent 20, let's call this $40. And on this one, you had spent 18 and 18 is 36. We'll just round up and call it $40. That would mean that your cost, including freight on these, is $150. And your profit is $515. So that's over $300 just in those three items. So as you can see, it adds up to pretty good money. We don't know until it comes in. Is it new? Is it used? Has the griddle been assembled before? Those things we cannot know until the items come in. That's one of the gambles. But still, most people think, gosh, if I could get a pre-owned in really good condition sewing table with maybe one dent or ding in it, I'd pay. Well, you always said that. Guess what? Now I have them. And what I would do is use the actual images. So here's how I would do that. Let's say that we're back to this example, and it does have a ding right here, and the outside coating is cracked. You could say it has, one dent in the back. Doesn't affect the open and close. I would normally say it doesn't affect functionality, but it's a waterproof and fireproof safe. So if it's got a dent on the side, would that do it? I doubt it, but I'm going to cover my butt on something like that. Or what if we are back to the Blackstone griddle, and what if this guy, has a warp in it? So you can say, amazing Blackstone 4-burner griddle, previously owned, like very good condition, has one ding, but otherwise new. And then I would also use these images. I don't use a picture of the thing in my own backyard. I sell the same thing that Walmart is selling, which is the dream of being with friends and having this brand new perfectly griddle with our perfectly laid out food that's not even been turned yet, and there's no smoke. They're selling the dream, and they're making billions. So do what they do, not what your competition on Craigslist or Facebook or Shopify is doing and showing actual pictures. Tell the truth in the description, but show the same images that the manufacturer is showing. They've already done the work for you. Don't reinvent the wheel. You're not going to do better than them. You are going to do better than your competition, and you're going to be able to sell it lower. So they're going to be bummed about you, but you're creating a good service and creating some extra income for a side hustle, or possibly to replace your 9-to-5 job. I scaled this thing up. We're buying about $15,000 a week worth of goods, and we've actually stepped it down a little bit. So it's eminently scalable. Not like a job where you can only work a certain amount of hours. You can decide how much you want to earn. If you want to close for a week to go to Disney World, you just take down the ads. Or if people contact you, you say, hey, I'm in Disneyland. I won't be available until next Tuesday. If you do want to come look at this product, if you leave a $5 deposit, I will hold it for you. If you don't want to do that, I get it. I will be back on Tuesday. Why don't you contact me then? And if it's still available, we can work something out. That way I'm not pressuring you for a deposit. I can't say it's spoken for without even a $5 totally refundable deposit. But if that doesn't work for you, just please feel free to give me a call back Tuesday afternoon. That way nobody has to feel put upon, and they can decide, do they want to put $5 down so that it has their name on it and they have the first choice to buy it and pay you the balance when they pick it up? Or would they rather just call you back on Tuesday? Either one's fine. How many people want your Blackstone griddle? All of them. How many can you sell it to? One. One. How many do you need to sell it to? One. So that's an idea. That's an insight there about where we buy the stuff. So jumping back to the 5 pallet spaces, I'm going to refresh this screen. Okay, now please, you'll have to ignore the freight's going to look ridiculous, but remember, this is in Indiana, and I'm all the way on the West Coast, so it's trying to price this freight for it having to go all the way to me. This would really be more like $500 somewhere in the neighborhood. But as you can see, this can go up to about what, 500, and my guess is the freight's 500 or 600 without it being outside of your budget. And also, I wanted to show you this. They will show you pictures of what category it's in, general merchandise, whatever the case may be, but you actually can look at the actual pallets. It doesn't tell you a lot about the condition, but it gives you an idea of what you'll be looking at when it does come in. So we've got 1 pallet, 2 pallet. Again, that's doesn't tell us a lot, does it? 3 pallets, and what I'm looking for there is that Blackstone griddle box. There it is. Sometimes I look closer to see, hey, does this look like maybe it got shipped and never sent further? I don't have a crystal ball and I can't tell, but there's that. That looks like an Echelon fitness bike. This is maybe that crafts table. Where is, and I would think that the safe would be down low. That might be it though, Century Safe. That might actually be the logo right there. No, I know what this is. It's the Dynaglow heater. And I'm not psychic. I've been buying these from these a lot. That's the Dynaglow force heater. All right, so we got an Echelon. I would assume that the safe is going to be down low because it's very, very heavy. It's a safe. Let's see. So then we've got, looks like a kid's, a kid's car seat. Not sure what this is. That also could be that craft table. But that gives you an idea. It does show you what the pallets look like. And let me just see. 1 pallet, 2 pallets, 3 pallets, 4 pallets. They may have 1 pallet as a double. It's hard to tell, but between the pallet and the manifest, like if this thing did have a generator listed and you scroll through and didn't see a box that had the generator or the generator itself, you might want to give it pause if that's the largest item. There's only so much we can do in this thing, but the law of averages, at least in my business, has been that it's profitable. All right, so that gives us an idea of where we are with that. Again, please disregard this freight is crazy because I'm way in Reno, Nevada. Indiana's super duper far. Alexa, how far is it from Reno, Nevada to Indiana?
From Reno, Indiana is 2,060.8 miles away by car.
Okay, it's 2,000 miles away. Normally what I'm buying is, I buy some stuff out of Vegas, out of Modesto, and that's much closer. Alexa, how far away is Mira Loma, California from Reno?
From Reno, Mira Loma is 462.6 miles away by car.
Okay, so about 462 miles away. There are also hubs for me in Las Vegas, also again about 450 miles away. I know that because sometimes they do 500 miles free shipping and I'm 450 miles out of Vegas. So I am buying things generally in a 500 mile or less radius. I'll buy whatever freight I can afford, but generally the closer I buy from, and there's plenty of hubs, Amazon, Costco, Walmart, Home Depot, Target, Lowe's, Kohl's, just everybody. Everybody has returns. Dick's Sporting Goods. They're everywhere. GameStop. Stop. Tons of stuff. So as you can see, this is getting near to the end. It's got 33 minutes left. So the bid is going up. Once again, if this freight was about $500, that would be about what we could spend. Now, the next question becomes, and I'm going to take you over to my account. And this happens to be Walmart liquidation auctions. As I mentioned, there's Costco, all kinds of stuff. There's Wayfair and Woot. I don't know if you're familiar with Woot. But that is one. As I mentioned, I do buy a lot from Costco, B stock. And just to give you an idea of what freight looks like when you're a little bit closer to home, just so you can see that freight's not just crazy, even though the price of gas is. Now, where I'm going on this is Costco B stock. And B stock is one of the big ones I buy from. There's Registix, there's bulk.com. Who else is there? Inmar. There's lots of them, and I can give you a list of all of that. And also give you, I've dealt with everybody, so I can give you the goods and the bads and all of that good stuff. So if we're looking into my account here on Costco, I've been really liking Costco stuff lately. I like it for the same reason I like Walmart, which is it's already priced fiercely. It's stuff people really, really want. And Costco, of course, they don't have a lot of obscure items or third-party sites. They have great stuff that everybody wants. So I've been really liking them. But let me just see if I can get into my account. Okay, I just want to show you my orders. I believe right now I owe them $6,000, and that's a typical thing for me. I have these three. I wouldn't normally recommend this for you. I would only want to see about 127 items on this if I was buying it to show you, because I run an auction house and we need smaller items. So it's, in fact, why I bought all of these. I got some drones, some camping goods, all of that stuff, because we needed small items. Things I would recommend for you is definitely pallets of floor care. This kind of stuff is great. Now I'm going to show you. What can I show you? Why don't I show you? Well, let's look at 4 pallets of floor care. Dyson vacuums everybody loves. They're easy for you to test. They're easy for you to meet someone in public and zing, zing, show them that the thing works. And you could put a piece of trash on the floor and vacuum it up to show that it actually has suction. It's a very easy thing to test. And everybody likes Dyson, right? You want a Dyson 11 right now? Heck yes, you do. Of course you do. Everybody does. So we are going to look at this order. Also, again, there's the pallet. Don't love the pallets. They're a little goofy looking in this case. Some of them look much better than others. But having said that, I'm going to go back and look to show you in real time what I got this one for and about what I paid per pallet in freight. So let's look. Let's view the order details of this item. All right, it says here that on $14,000, so basically $15,000 worth of goods, I paid $1,711. Is that including freight? Now, we also saw that those pallets look terrible, so I'm going to have some dead loss on there for sure, but let's just see. So I paid $1,000 and I paid $700 in shipping, again, for 4 pallets. So again, $200 per pallet is a good rule of thumb. $100, $200 per pallet in freight. And again, it depends. That one, of course, had metal casing, so it might have been a bit more, but it doesn't change the fact that overall I did fine. $15,000 at 20 cents on the dollar would be $3,000. I didn't pay anywhere near $3,000. I paid $1,711. So I'm going to make some money on this, meaning that if let me download the manifest and show you. Open that up for you. Costco's, all the manifests look a little bit different. But again, I can show you how to walk through all of this, but let's look. These are Dysons. All right, these are the regular retails of them. So if we are looking at, and this is because I got 10 of this Coleman 13 by 13 canopy, which of course everybody loves those. So this is the extended retail. We just saw that I spent under $2,000. I spent $30 that it doesn't show on a wire transfer fee. But if you don't want to do a wire transfer fee, you can use your credit card to do the wire transfer fee. There is a $30 fee, but that's just the cost of doing business. I will bundle all those orders into one wire transfer fee, but just factor it in. I'm going to go ahead and sum that up. So again, we decided that was what? About $15,000 worth of retail goods. So if I sold that on the average of 40 cents on the dollar, meaning some of the vacuums came in and they were just for parts, all of that stuff, then $15,000 times 40% back, that is $6,000. Okay, I would make $6,000 on this load. Another reason I like it is you don't have a lot of low dollar things to mess with. Like even this little swinging hammock chair, you might end up keeping it, giving it as a Father's Day gift. Obviously, it would sell. Metal tree collar, I'm not sure, but a lot of these are gaming chairs, Shark Navigator, Lazy Boy manager chair, instant cabin tents. Eureka, you could sell, here's some more of those swinging hammock chairs. There's 15 of them, and then there was one more at the bottom, right? So you could add them in pairs of 2 to make the dollar value a bit bigger. There's obviously a lot of ways to do this. You could say free swinging hammock chair with every Dyson purchase, because basically this one at $40, I spent less than 20 cents on the dollar. So I spent about $8 on that. So I could certainly give that away. If they buy 2 or more items, you get a free hammock chair. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. And again, you're doing right by them. They are getting value because they're buying it for less than they could otherwise, and you're making money on your money. So let's say that you spent what I spent, which was $1,700 plus the transfer fee, plus let's say you had to spend money on a storage unit because you live in an apartment, or you don't want the stuff in the house, or you have roommates or people you don't trust, or whatever the case may be. So let's say you had to rent the storage unit for a month, and you had to get a $50 extra charge so that the truck that delivers those pallets has a lift gate. Expenses like that. Let's just round it up to 2,000. At 2,000, at 2,000, $2,000 of cost. What did we say? $15,000 times an average of making 40% on it is 6,000. So if you were spending $2,000, including with your expenses, you have a chance to make back $6,000. You can see it adds up pretty quickly, and you can afford to give away hammock chairs that everybody wants, by the way. They're cool little chairs. They like swing. But if I'm wrong by half, you're going to make 4,000. That means you doubled your money. You doubled your money. And what's interesting is this is 80 units, but let me run back and show you something else that I like about Costco. It's 80 units, but it's only 30 lines. What I mean is you might have 10 of these, but you only need to list it one time. Then every time you sell one, you just leave the ad up, leave the ad up, leave the ad up, and then on your last one. Now, what if some of these come in and one has got a broken leg? Then you can tell somebody, hey, do you want to take this extra one for parts only? Let them take it with them. If one of them comes in and it's a little bit sun faded, if somebody wants a deal, you can say, well, I can't do it on this one. This one's brand new and still sealed, but I have one that's sun faded that I'll sell you for half price. There's ways to do it. This one, you've got, again, there's your swinging hammock chair. You could do a set of, there's this one here, and then there's another one. That's 16. You could do a set of 4 swinging hammock chairs and have that add up for 4 times. So I like this one because you actually only need about 30 ads tops to list everything. And you never know what's going to sell and what's not. But what I'm telling you is it's going to sell. Costco is not in the business of buying a lot of things that don't sell. I've often wondered, we sell pools, like in the above ground pools, in January. And I think, who in the heck would buy a pool in January? Oh, I figured it out. Because every time they ever get one at Walmart, it's $500. We are selling it to you in January for $250. It's weird to tie up $250, but if they know spring is coming, that they can't get it for half price anywhere else on the planet except through me. So there's reasons for it. I forget because we sell so much stuff in the auction and our little buyer base can be jaded, but the outside world goes crazy for stuff like this. They love air fryers. They love inflatable hot tubs. They love generators. They love safes. It's a business that works because a lot of it's been done for you. So that's how you buy it. So the next step would be you figure out your price. Let's check back on in with Walmart. And of course, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. Let's see if I can take you back to that auction. Sorry, I have a million windows open, but I'll show you. Let me take you back to the auction. Sorry. Where is it? Ah! All right, I'm just going to scroll over. You guys, I'm really sorry to do this to you. And again, that's another thing. You don't have to be tech savvy. I learned just enough to make it through, just the stuff I need to do, because I'm not finding it, so I can't get back to that Walmart auction. I apologize, but nope. All right, so I'm going to close all these out just because it's super confusing. All right. I really lost it, huh? You sure? Yeah. All right, well, I'm so sorry about that, but anyway, let's go back to what we do know. Here's one that's not ongoing. It's done. All right, I bought this one, as you can see, for $17.11. Let's go look at another one that I actually purchased. And the reason that it says, hey, these ones are processing. They got my payment yesterday, and I think I spent $8,000 on these. So I'm buying every day. I'm walking like I'm talking, and I've spent millions and millions of dollars. So I've made a lot of mistakes, but you don't have to. I'll show you how not to do that. Just go right into profitability. Boom. Let's see. What else do I want to show you that would be a good one for you? What else would be a good one for you? I love chest freezers. Let's look at this one. All right, so this was 4 pallets of chest freezers for 24 units. 24 units at $62.60 means those have a $260 average. So it's worth your time. So let's look at this one. Let's view the order details on this bad boy. I paid $1,284 for $62.60 worth of stuff. So I paid just about 20 cents on the dollar, plus I had to pay that wire transfer fee. So a little bit more than 20 cents on the dollar. It's a little bit higher than I normally would pay. But as you can see from the other one, they average out to 17 to 20 cents on the dollar. Meaning if you're buying a $100 item, you're paying $20 for it, including all your costs. So again, you're going to be able to sell it for 50, clearly, even if you have other expenses. So on this guy, the reason that I did that is because it's easy enough on 24 units. I only have to list it. Let's find out how many times I have to list it. Just because there's 24 units doesn't mean there's not duplicates. Okay, see what I mean? You'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ads. 11 ads because there are duplicates. And if you're wondering about, hey, I don't know how to do spreadsheets, don't worry. Again, I used to cry about zipped folders. I will be glad to show you everything you need to do this correctly. Inventory systems, how you know what you paid for it when you're negotiating with someone. All that stuff. We've done it all here for years. All right, so there's your price. We decided that I was in at $1,250. So we're just going to call it $1,500 with expenses, okay? Because you guys might have to rent a storage unit. You might need a lift gate to unload the stuff. So $1,500. And I've learned, in fact, when I first got into this business, I asked my partner, I said, how do we know that I won't saturate the market and people will stop buying stuff because they got everything? And he said, let me tell you something. Nobody will ever get tired of paying half price for a chest freezer that works perfectly with one dent in the front. And he's right. If you think about that, if you have a chest freezer that works fine with a dent in the front and you buy it, well, let's see what it retails for. It retails for $270 and you tell your friends, oh, I got it for $150 online. It works great, one dent. That's, love it, right? So we're going to look at this and we're going to say that I'm in at $1,500. That's the retail value of the goods. And they're appliances, things people need chest freezers. People want chest freezers. This is good news. Let's times that by 50%. Let's say that we sell it for half of what it's priced at Costco. Mind you, Costco's inexpensive. So let's just say that at Costco's already fierce prices, you're only going to charge half that. Like, you're tougher than Costco. Seriously. Plus, if you're collecting sales tax, you're collecting less sales tax than Costco because you're selling it at price. And the sales tax is based on the price of the goods. So yeah, this is your chance to have better prices than Costco. So at half price, that would be $3,129. Let's say you had another $129. Again, that's a money doubler. I do not have a crystal ball. I don't know what's wrong with each freezer. You might get a dud. You could also tell somebody, I'm selling this one as a fixer-upper. The lights come on, but I can't get it to get cold. If anybody wants this, how about you come by and get it for $50? It's not working. You got your money back out of it. That doesn't work, $20. That doesn't work, hey, free on the side of the road. If not, and you need to get it out of your storage unit, the next time somebody comes to buy one, say, hey, do you want this other one for spare parts? I don't, they come. It works itself out, I'm telling you. We do unit lots every week that are called the fixer-upper parts only lots. So it's things that, for whatever reason, we couldn't get to power on or it was missing a part. We say it needs parts, repairs, or both. If you guys want to buy all of this, and take it away and fix it up because we just don't have time, they line up for it with Ryder vans. So you can get your stuff cleared out and move back into the things that are profitable. What you want to do is concentrate on your profitable items and then mess around with them. Let's look at the unit retail. Just gonna, I'm gonna sort by largest to smallest. It may not, sometimes I don't know, but anyway, sometimes I don't trust the, so this guy is a nice wine bottle cooler. So you concentrate on this one, and then of course these guys, you tend to triage it. At least I do. Look at your biggest value items first, because you'll find that just the profit you make in these ones trumps all of those before it. Even though there's more of these ones add up to more. It's weird, but I can get into all that with you and explain it all to you. But this is all very good news. I like it because it's free will, it's legal, and I don't have to reinvent the wheel. And let's say you were going to go meet somebody to sell them this chest freezer. If you had it plugged in all night in your garage, you can take it to them with a cup. We do, with a little portion cup, still frozen inside, and the walls will still be frozen. You can prove that it works. You can plug it in. They can hear the condenser come on. They know it works. So you don't have to have people in your house. You can control the narrative. You can meet them at McDonald's. You can meet them at Starbucks. I like things like this. They're easy to test and prove. The wine cooler as well. The digital lights will turn on. I keep thermometers to show what degree it gets cold to. You can make a little video of it before you unplug it to take to their house. It's great. So there's a million things I can teach you, but hopefully this crash course gives you an idea about the fact that there is profitability. So what happens now? You purchased this. The truck is coming with 4 pallets. You are... Let me see if I can show you too. It's going to show you some items. That's that pretty little wine cooler. All right, so there you go. Chest freezer, chest freezer, chest freezer, chest freezer. Chest freezer, chest freezer, chest freezer, chest freezer. I guess mini fridge, mini fridge, mini fridge, mini fridge. Is that right? Little fridge with freezer. Hard to tell on this, but probably chest freezers, just judging by the manifest. There's a stock image. And there's maybe that was more wine chillers or more other mini fridges. But again, you can see the pallets. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you're getting. You can actually look at what they photographed when they listed the listing. So let's say that you have now purchased this item. Now what? You send off the money. They say they've received it. Then they will reach out to you and find out when you want them shipped, what day the truck driver should show up. Can work that out if it's going to a residence or a commercial location. So that's obviously the next thing. And then the question becomes, how do you make a listing? Well, let's go back and look. So let's say that I want to make a listing for this Medea chest freezer. Okay, there's the Medea. I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet and I'm going to show you. Where is my Medea? Let's assume that it's this guy. Also, this will show the Costco item number. That doesn't always work. That's okay. I've got other little tricks up my sleeve in case it doesn't. Boop. Okay. Let's go and see if I can find on Costco. Sorry about that, guys. Again, not super tech savvy, but believe me, I'm a laid off cocktail waitress. If I can do it, you can do it. Here we go. So here's the Medea. One other, excuse me, thing you might have issues with Costco is if you're not a member, you can't see the price, right? But that's okay, because now you've got a model. Let's see what the outside world's charging for this bad boy. Medea. All right, so we got Medea. Lowe's. How much is it at Lowe's? It is $189 at Lowe's. All right, let's see who else has it. We can also go to shopping, can't we? All right, $600 at Walmart for a 7 cubic foot. $249 is what it's showing at Lowe's. Why is it showing so much money? Vans Home Improvement, eBay. I'm looking for Amazon or some of these names I don't really understand. I don't recognize. So that's okay. Best Buy. What about Best Buy on a 7 cubic foot? I like Best Buy. I trust them. Oh, they do auctions too. Best Buy return cards. Basically, all the big guys do. They have to. They have to be able to get rid of the stuff when it doesn't go in. So I'm just going to scroll back up for the purpose of this, and I'm going to find out that can't be right. Walmart can't be charging $600. What in the heck? Okay, but let's just say for a second that you used this ad. Here's how I would do it. First, I would make sure, I'm going to go paste that it's MRC07M A6W. It is. Okay, so here's how I would make a listing. I would use my handy dandy snipping tool. Buddy. Come on, little buddy. And for the third time, I'm not super duper techie, but I can show you how to do all this. I believe my good buddy Amy Baker showed me the snipping tool, and I've never been the same since. Okay, so here we go. Back to the thing. So here we are at Walmart, $600. That's crazy, but I'm going to show you what I would do. Okay, I would take this. I might even, just for giggles, do this. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to take it over here, and I'm going to make a product description listing. Boom. Run on back to where we were. Okay. I'm going to copy all that. Run on back here. Now, I don't know yet if it's new or if it's like new. I'm a little tricky in my title descriptions. So here's what I would put. Also not a great typist, guys. Sorry. So my all caps, I wouldn't normally do that, but now I'm not going to put the retail was $600. I'm not a monster, but I'm going to put retail $250. And I'm going to run on back to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to see what I paid for it. Highlight that. My eyes are going bad too, by the way, guys, but that's okay. I have staff that helps me with this because of that reason, because we've actually found some success in this. So again, I paid a margin on $270. So I'm going to run on back here, and because again, the retail, according to what they charged me a portion of, was $275. So here's what I'm going to put. I'm going to put retail of $275 because that's reasonable, right? I mean, we saw it all over the map at places. I mean, that's crazy. They'll see that in there, but we didn't list that. I don't know that I feel comfortable about that. That seems like price gouging to me, and that's not my thing. But I'm putting it there to show them, like, I didn't make this up, but I found that. So $600 retailed $275 price is, and again, we paid a portion of $275. So let's say that we paid 25% with expenses and stuff. So let's say that we're in this thing about $70. All right. So at $275, how about $175? That's $100 off, right? But you'd still be making, $125 on that one sale. So it's worth your time. Price is $175. All right. Then I would write this down here. I would, this is, Medea, chest freezer, contour design, interior LED light. That's all fine. Garage ready. Then I would put, and again, I don't know yet, so I'm just going to guess, okay? Condition. This is like new. Tested and gets cold fast. Is that not true of a freezer that I'd be selling? I mean, I have to get it in to see, but we're just going to pretend like I'd already seen it. Cold fast. This is maybe the description that I would put. Okay. And also, I also do something like this. I say it cute, but I say it. If there's something wrong with it, I put it in the description. Then when they come to pick up, I say, yeah, right? It's a great deal. It's like $100 off retail, and it's got one dent. Great, right? And I nod, and they nod back. And then I show them the reality of it there. But let me see if I can get back. You guys know I like to keep open a million friggin' windows. I just want to show you if I can get back to, I'm going to close that one out. I'm really bad at this. Okay, so I'm going to get back to, hopefully, the Medea, and I'm going to show you why. I'm looking for some other pictures for my ad. We did the Walmart one. That's a 6.9 by Hot Point, 7 cubic foot by eBay. Let's see if this person's got good pictures on it. Just the one. I mean, it's better than the kind of the one we have now about, like, it makes it look like that's got a big frostbite or something on it. So we're not going to do that. But once again, we're selling it better than they are. Let me run back and let me go to all, just to show you real quick. And I'm going to go to, maybe Costco's got better images. Best Buy probably would, but I don't want to waste too much of your time. But let's go see. Let's go see if they've got other images. Sometimes I scroll down, but this is handy. Like this shows if people want to know the dimensions, I could even do this. Again, I could use my snipping tool. That's a great picture, right? Specifications. That way, if somebody asks you, hey, I need to make sure that it fits in my garage, will it fit? You can say yes. In fact, on one of the images, I actually added all of the specifications. If you scroll through the pictures, you'll be able to see it. Bam. Sometimes they also have an image showing its specifications. So let me see if I can get you back to find that. All right, so there's one. Let's see what you got. Sometimes this will show dimensions, not in this case, but so I will scroll through and I will kind of look at my favorite image. Sometimes I'll show it with freezers. It's kind of hard when it's a white chest freezer. It's just, sorry, it's just not super exciting, but we like that one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and again, I could also save the image, but just for right now, I'm going to go ahead and do a snip. Okay, a snip, boom. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to head back to my ad. All right, so this is going to be another image, and I would probably, if it was me, I would probably make it the top image. Second one with the price is fine. So there you go. There's a picture of a chest freezer. If you wanted another one with a window open, great. Now, works perfectly. Then I would probably put either in my thing. Now, this tells me, this listing already tells me a couple of things. Number one, it says, awesome, media, chest free, awesome, and media, awesome. I might even change that to like 7 cubic foot. And if you didn't want that, since it's already down there for that, then you could just make it awesome chest freezer, depending on how long you want your description to be. But I like to put the retail price and my price in the subject line. There are things in the subject line that mean something only to me. Awesome tells me that it's not new. Let's say it comes in and this thing is brand new, still strapped down. It's got the manual inside, the little freezer basket. Then I'm going to change this to new. Works perfectly. This is, and again, I would change this is new. This is new. Testing gets on last. One ding on the front. Okay, but other works perfectly. Box has some damage. Okay, something like that, but the item is new. Then I would leave myself my inventory notes. What do we know from this thing? We know that we are in at about 68.75. Let me run you back here to show you how I know what I know. Let's say that we bought this thing, and it wouldn't matter whether it's new or used. We still paid the same price. We paid a margin on $270. So for this item, I'm going to call it $270 times 25%. I think we paid a little over 20 cents. There are other things involved. That's a good rule of thumb. I'm going to call it $70 our cost. I'm rounding up from $67.50 to $70. Now, let's take you on back to my would-be description. We are selling it for $175. So $175 means that if I bought it for $70, then I'd be making $100 on this sale. I can leave myself a little code. At the bottom, I can say, CS, from like Costco truck, right? Costco, and then I can put that it was 70. This is just code. You can make up your own, but $70 slash 1.75 is what I'm listing it at, slash. If I sell it for that, I make $100 dash, and I ordered it on 1/24/23. That doesn't mean anything to anybody but you. Okay. Also, if you only wanted to print this as a tag in your own item, but it's good because it could tell you that Costco, this means that you're in this item $70. If you sell it for $175, you're making $100. You got it on January 24th of 23. So if now we're in February 24th and it hasn't sold, it's probably time to reduce it. So at that point, you would go back in there, and I'm just going to copy this. So at that point, you go in there, you reduce the price. And let's say you reduce the price down to, okay, 150. Okay. chest freezers are always going to sell, but just for this example, price is 150. Woo! Okay, so now you're going to go down and you're going to make myself a note that I've reduced it once. Okay. Now it still costs me 70. That doesn't change. But at 1.5, then I would make 0.75, right? $75. Again, it was on 124.23 and it's been renewed or it's been um reduced one time. These are just little codes to yourself. You can make them up completely differently, but this is nice. That way, if somebody calls you and you have 10, 15, 20 products and they want to haggle, but you know that you only have this thing in for a day, I say, I'm going to wait it out. If you want to give me a call in a week, if I still have it, then we can talk. You're putting the ball back in their court and they may just say, hey, we'll take it. If they said, hey, I'll give you $100 and you were asking 175, you could say, gosh, I can't do that. If you want to call me in a week, and I still have it, I might be able to do $150 if it's cash. Get back something you want. There's a give and take to all of that. You can also say, I'll tell you what, I can sell it to you for 150, even though I'm asking 175. For that, I will want cash. And if that works for you, I can be available tomorrow between 3 and 4 to pick it up. So you're setting the terms. That way they can't show up at your own personal residence at 11 p.m. And of course, you don't ever give out your address. We're going to get into all that. But then you decide. You can also stack this. So if you're selling one of these to somebody and a Dyson vacuum to someone else, you can meet them at McDonald's between 3 and 4 p.m. Take your nephew there and they can be in play place anyway while you're there, and you could be checking on your ads or updating your inventory or counting your money or doing any number of other things in a safe place. And there's also ways where you can say, great, thank you so much, let me get your email if you want to know about other stuff. I tend to get, because people do, it's a great value. So that's how you do it. This is how we list it. I can teach you inventory systems so you know when it's time to let something go, how to let something go to get your money back, all of that stuff. And I tend to like to price things between 50 and 75 cents on the dollar, depending on if it's an iPad or a Dyson or an inflatable hot tub. One of my friends once told me you can always charge them less, you just can never charge them more. So I like to find that sweet spot. For me, really, the sweet spot is 65 cents on the dollar, meaning that if I have a $100 item, I'm selling it for 65. That's where people go crazy. If it's a $100 item and I'm selling it for 60, that's obviously attractive to buyers. So that is a little bit into what I do. I do this multiple times.
Bid on Walmart auctions.
That's my daily reminder to bid on Walmart auctions because this is what I do for a living. We sell about 1,000 items a week, but now I have an auction format. In your case, I wouldn't recommend an auction format. We can get into that. I'll teach you how to do that if you want. But I think that the easiest way to get profitable fast would be to avoid every mistake I made, and I'll lay them all out for you and get right to the stuff that I tell you is going to sell. It's easy to test. It's easy to prove. You get lots of duplicates. The money's worth it, and it beats door dashing all the heck. So I think that you should easily be able to make an extra $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month. And then at that point, you decide, okay, do I want to take this bigger? Is this something that I want to hire somebody to take to the flea market every weekend and sell the stuff for me and I pay them this much money? There's a million ways to scale it. And that's another nice thing about it. The world's never going to run out of return goods. And there's always going to be a demand for it. And the stores always have to get rid of it. If the Dyson V12 comes out, and they still have the V11 on the shelf, they've got to get rid of the V10s. If the iPad 7 comes out and they still have the 6s on the shelf, they've got to get rid of the iPad version 5. It happens. The iPhone 11 used to be the newest, latest, and greatest. What are we on now? iPhone 14 and climbing? Walmart has to get rid of that stuff too. It could be the greatest hot tub in the world. But if it's January, it's got to go. They have to have room for the Valentine's Day displays. This is the way the world works. And this is one way that I've found that we can create value by being honest, telling the truth, doing our part for recycling and creating value, and everybody's happy. So hopefully that gives you an insight about what we do. And if I can be of more help, please reach out to me. I'll try to capture your email address and get contact information for you. So if I can be of help, I'm glad to do that because I believe that somebody will be the Bezos of return goods. It's not going to be me. I don't have any children. I'm almost 50 years old and I spent a lot of years building this and making mistakes. I don't want to go after billions when millions will do just fine. I just want to have a nice, relaxing life and be able to say that I showed a lot of people how to build their own stuff. And one last note, when I left the last business where I ever had a boss that wasn't my own boss, I was selling utility trailers, enclosed trailers, trailers that we would build for concession people, horse trailers, dump trailers, construction trailers. And it was a good job. I worked for my boss for 17 years on and off. However, when he retired and transitioned the company to a national dealer, it turned out I was a dog that was a little bit too old to learn those tricks. And I was the queen bee making all the cool special orders. I had a very specific job. The problem was it didn't scale anywhere else. And the mechanic there, fabulous mechanic, amazing, could fix anything. Problem was he was 40, 45. So that makes it tough. If he's not ASE certified, it makes it tough for him to be able to make what he's used to making. So I noticed that feeling of, there's some ageism. And I don't know, do I have to go be a receptionist? I don't want to be a waitress again. I don't want to drive DoorDash. What do I do? Well, the answer was I went out and I built my own thing because I had to. But I'll never work for anyone else again. And again, I'm a laid off cocktail waitress that used to sell utility trailers. Not fancy, not the picture of sobriety. I have been for the last 14 years, but in previous times I was not. Now I have a staff and the auction is running and the business is running, and you have not at one point seen anybody come in here, even though I have a staff working up at the other buildings and selling merchandise, and I'm buying stuff. So it's definitely a product that I think works, and I think it can work for you, and I'm eager to prove it. So if I can be of help, I am more than happy to prove my worth and show you that this can be done. It's easy enough to do, and there's no trick in it because I don't like tricks. I like win-win, good vibes. I don't want to trick anybody. Life is too short for that, and I'm not looking to burn my name or my reputation on a defective vacuum. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the empire business. And since I don't want to build an empire out of the return goods, if I taught 1,000 soldiers how to do it, maybe they together make an army. I don't want to be the one, but I'll certainly be your general and your cheerleader. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was insightful. I'll probably make a follow-up video when I know what more of your questions are, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how we buy it, how we get it, how we sell it, how we list it, and how we scale it. All right, guys, thanks so much. I hope you have a great day. Let's see if I'm smart enough to turn off this recording. Bye for now.